and thank you for choosing the Caleffi 116 Series ThermoSetter thermal balancing valve. In this short video, we're going to go over some tips on how to install your new ThermoSetter, but the first thing that you should do when you open the box is to go through and read your installation instructions, as they'll have everything that you need to know in there as well. The ThermoSetter is designed specifically for balancing domestic hot water recirculation circuits, and it comes in 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch female NPT connections. It's going to come in 3 different models, so let's go over those real quick. The first is going to be our base model. The second model is going to have a thermal disinfection cartridge built into it. The last model is going to have thermal disinfection controlled by an actuator. So first, let's take a look at our base model. On this model here, we are going to have an adjustment knob on the top. This is going to allow you to set your temperature that you want to maintain your recirculation line at. From there, the water will flow through, and the thermal balancing cartridge will actually modulate the flow to maintain that temperature at which you've set it. There are no tools, no balancing, no differential pressure meters required. You just set the knob and away you go. So once you've got your temperature dialed in on your recirculation loop, the knob on the very top can actually be locked to prevent tinkering. So what you're going to want to do is, on the very top here, there is going to be a Phillips head screw. You're going to pull that guy out of there with a screwdriver, and then from there you'll notice on the actual body of the unit itself there's going to be an index point here, and on the inside of the knob there's actually going to be a small notch, and so you can line those two up and you'll notice that it actually says lock right on there. Once you've got that in the position you can't turn it anymore, and you'll go ahead and put your screw back in and tighten it down. On the outlet of the ThermoSetter, you are going to notice there is a dry well. This can be used for an optional temperature gauge that we offer. You can actually put that right in the dry well to keep an eye on what your temperatures are doing in your recirculation loops, but you can also use that for a temperature sensor connected to a building automation system, so you can keep an eye on your recirculation from one central location. These units can be installed in any orientation. The body of the ThermoSetter is actually going to have a flow arrow on it, so make sure that you're installing this unit with the flow arrow in the proper direction as well. The second model that I've got here is going to have everything that we had on the base model. Above and beyond that, it is actually going to have a second cartridge inside of it. This is going to be a thermal bypass cartridge. In the event you are doing thermal disinfection in your system, this cartridge, once it sees 160 degrees, will allow more flow through the valve to continue that thermal disinfection cycle. If you have this model, there are no adjustments needed. Once it sees that 160, it'll open right up, and once it stops, it'll go back to using the main cartridge to do the work. Our third model is going to have a different type of thermal bypass cartridge inside of it. Instead of it being temperature controlled, it is going to be controlled by an actuator. So think of it similar to a zone valve. In this case, you can actually use one of our 6563 or 6564 series thermoelectric actuators and just thread it right onto the top. This actuator can then be controlled by a building automation system to time out when you're doing your thermal disinfection. These actuators are going to be 24 volt AC. They are going to be power open and spring return. From there, they draw about 6 VA of inrush current, so you can roughly get about 7 of them on a 40 VA transformer. Lastly, to prevent flow from going the wrong direction in your circuits, we offer a inline check valve that is going to be male by female connections in NPT as well. On here you're going to notice there's a flow label, so make sure to match that up to the arrow that's on the ThermoSetter. When you go to thread that in to the outlet of the ThermoSetter, you use some Teflon tape or pipe dope, and you're all set. I hope you found these tips useful. If you have any further questions about this or any of our other products, please be sure to contact your wholesaler, your rep, or us directly. And thanks for watching.